we're going to take her through to take some photos with some students in the hallway, just for congestion's sake, if you guys wouldn't mind holding for about 5 minutes after we're wrapped up here. We'll give you the signal when we're ready to leave. All right, and with that...
Ma'am, President Trump ran on pro-choice. You have a reputation for pro-choice in education. What can we look for from this administration in terms of education choice?
Well, both the President and I have maintained that all children should have an equal opportunity for a great education. And we are committed to empowering parents to be able to make more of those decisions on behalf of their children. We know that there are many, many, many great schools in this country and that are doing a great job for the children that they serve, but even the best school probably doesn't serve the needs of every single student there. And so offering other opportunities and other methods of delivery of education is really what we want to make available to a much broader range of parents. I've had the privilege to make those decisions for my kids. I want that same privilege for everyone, no matter their zip code or their income.
But Secretary, a state like Utah has rejected vouchers. It's a conservative state. Our state legislature passed a voucher bill, one of the most comprehensive in the country at the time. Voters went to the polls and pulled it back. How do you convince a state like Utah that a voucher program is good?
Well, I think it has to be up to the states what and whether to adopt in terms of choices. And I'm very much a federalist in that regard. But I think that the momentum around this has continued to build across the country, and more people are supporting this notion that everybody should have the opportunity to make multiple choices or decisions, not just those who have the economic means to do so. If the state of Utah decided they didn't want to participate in something, they certainly would have that right. I would certainly hope to try to encourage leadership to consider otherwise, but it would certainly be up to everybody in the state of Utah that makes those decisions.
Without making, say, choices for other kinds of education, I mean, how do you improve the public schools for people who want to just kind of keep their kids in the system? What do you do to boost those?
Well, we've attempted that for many decades, both from the federal level, and many states have also tried to improve their traditional public education system, and with some results in some places. But the reality is that there are still far too many kids that are being left behind. And every year that we fail to give parents the kinds of choices they need for their individual children is a tragic year for each child that is being denied that kind of an opportunity. So it's an issue that we are very committed to continuing to promote, and I expect we'll be seeing something from both the administration and that Congress will consider at some point in the not too distant future.
The police and school officials tell me this was a surprise decision on your part to come and do what you did this morning. What made you decide to do this? Why are you here? I mean, I realize you're in town for another reason, but why this stop?
Well, I love to visit schools, and that's a big part of my job, is to visit schools and to learn about innovative things that are going on in local communities and in states. And both the President and I have also been very intent on talking about higher education and multiple paths to higher education. I think we've done young people a disservice for a long time in suggesting that if you're going to be successful as an adult, that you have to go to a four-year college or university. That's true for some students, but it's not true for everyone. And today we have over 6 million jobs in this country, good, skilled, high-paying jobs that are going unfilled, and we don't have the kind of conversation around and intentionality around helping students find the pathways to those kinds of jobs and those kinds of opportunities. I think we also, as we talked about a few moments ago, we also have to continue to fuel the fire of innovation and entrepreneurship in this country, because our world is different today than it was even 25 years ago. Technology is changing things so rapidly we need to be helping to encourage our next generation to continue to meet the needs of our realities today and for the future.
In your opinion of this program?
I was very impressed. It's very exciting. I grew up in a manufacturing family. I worked in a factory multiple summers myself. My dad's a manufacturing facility, and I enjoy seeing stuff being made and you know, just all of the processes around that and the trial and error for beginning to make a product that actually goes to market. It's a really exciting process, and I'm excited for these students.
Do we
Time for one
take
more
as much
question?
Department of Education as we have? There are some people who say they want to cut it back and you're now in a process of cutting back regulations. Could you talk about leaving maybe with a smaller department than you came to?
Well, one of the things that the department is charged with implementing right now is the Every Student Succeeds Act, which is the new K-12 reauthorization. And it is very much focused on returning power to the states and a lot of more flexibility to the states. And that's really the goal that I have for that part of education, is to really empower the states in a new way and to talk about and to challenge states to become more creative in their thinking about how to address their students' needs. Washington doesn't have all the answers. In fact, it usually doesn't have the best answer. And so my job is to get out of the way and to encourage states to really pick up the ball and run with it on behalf of the students that they're serving in their unique parts of our country.
Thank you all so much for coming out today. If you wouldn't mind just holding for about 5 minutes while we escort the secretary. She's got a couple of pictures she's going to take with students, and then we'll be allowing you to all leave.